So as of July 22nd, 2026, 502 students were unenrolled at Howard University due to non-payment that was disclosed from the school. So welcome to the Black Student Blueprint. I am Takara and I wanted to talk to you about this today. I just feel compelled to talk to you about it, so I apologize. I do not have my regular HBCU attire on, but I felt that this was urgent enough for me to sit down and have a conversation with you all about. From what I understand, the school sent out emails to students to let them know that they were being unenrolled in the school. And so parents took action, and students as well took action on public social media first to talk about it. They posted the emails, they contacted ABC7, CNN, local news, things like that. From what I understand, some students even went to campus so that they could move in or try to get started at school, and they were then told that they were unenrolled. So once everything came out, Howard did go ahead and confirm that there were 502 students that were officially unenrolled, and the story just went viral. From what I understand, as of right now, while I'm recording this video, 200 students have already been reinstated, and they are going through individual cases to review them to see if the students can be re-enrolled. I'm not here to play the blame game. I'm not blaming the parents. I'm not blaming the students. I'm not blaming the schools. But what I want to do is talk about where maybe this whole thing went wrong. Because this can happen to anybody, regardless of if you are attending Howard University or somewhere else. This can happen to you. And so I want to be able to be here to give you the information that you need so that this isn't you and this does not happen to you, and you don't get unenrolled or purged from your school or your classes. To begin with, I think that there was a communication gap. From what I understand, families were not giving any warning between the deadline passing and the unenrollment email arriving. So the deadline passed or was going to pass, and nobody received any type of email from the school. There is a system that students could try to use to set up a payment plan or do something to that nature to, be able to stay enrolled in school. And the automated system kind of trapped them. So students who owed above a certain amount of money were automatically blocked from enrolling in the payment plan. And so the one tool that could have saved the students from getting unenrolled was locked away from the people who actually needed that specific tool the most. We do understand that sometimes, you have scholarships, and some people are more timely than others. It appears that some of the outside scholarship timing was also a problem. The scholarships were awarded, but they weren't posted yet to the accounts. So they were treated as if a lot of these students didn't have any scholarships at all, which gave them no flexibility in the system for the pending funds. Now let's get on FAFSA, because FAFSA has been an issue for a while now. And so FAFSA also had a delay factor. So federal processing ran significantly behind schedule in 2025 and 2026. And a lot of families were still waiting to be verified on aid packages while the deadlines were already passing. So the deadlines were approaching and passing because FAFSA was also delayed. Let's get into the first generation knowledge gap. Things that, if you are a first generation freshman, you should know that you've probably not been told, but because of that, this is why this happened, probably and likely to a lot of these students, unfortunately. So incoming freshmen and families had no framework to go by. as far as monitoring the students' accounts and understanding the bursar's deadlines, which, that's the office that takes the money or takes, the bills or give out the bills. And they didn't have any knowing how to escalate a pending scholarship situation before it even became a crisis. Now, here's what I want to emphasize before I start talking about the resource gap. Do not think that this does not happen at PWIs and other schools. It does. It happens all the time. I think one of the differences is that the other schools usually don't unenroll students at this heavy volume, this many at a time. It's done quietly. Usually, they usually have more resources, more funding, things of that nature that can help the students along, so that a lot of times they don't have to be unenrolled. So let's talk about resource gaps. So Howard serves a financially complex student population who have fewer financial aid counselors per student than most PWIs have. So PWIs, they probably have, specific last name letters that they can tend to, which means they have smaller amounts of students that they speak with. But because Howard may not have this same specific resource, the problem is that it should have been caught earlier, but unfortunately it slipped through the cracks because they don't have the manpower behind it in order to, catch what they should have caught sooner. So let's get into why this may have become a national story and why it got national attention. Because like I said before, PWIs drop students for non-payment every semester. They do it quietly, but they do it scattered throughout the term, and they never make headlines. I think that Howard's situation hit differently for students and families because all 500 students were impacted all at once just weeks before classes started. And let's face it, Howard is a pretty high profile HBCU in the United States of America. It seems that maybe the combination of scale and timing and visibility made it impossible to, contain everything internally. And so other places have responded, other schools have responded. New York ordered a few schools to open enrollment to displaced Howard students who are New York residents. And other universities, I know one in Maryland, it also includes the universities of District of Columbia and Elizabeth City State University in North Carolina, also opened their doors immediately to these students, which I understand is probably heartbreaking for a lot of students. Not only heartbreaking, frustrating, and upsetting because you had your mind set on this particular school. This is where you wanted to be. This is what you chose to be your school. And so trying to figure out how you would fit into another school or start attending another school probably wasn't on your list of things to do, especially at this time. So let's talk about the things that you can do right now, especially for students who are getting ready to enroll into college so that these things don't happen to you. Let's talk about a protection checklist that you can use from here on out. So one of the first things you need to make sure that you are doing is submitting your FAFSA on October 1st every year. The earliest date possible that FAFSA opens is what you'll want to do. You never want to wait because this gives the financial aid office enough time to follow up with you. If there are things within your application that are wrong or need to be addressed, it can be addressed early on and you'll have plenty of time to fix it. Usually, I would say you need to follow up with the financial aid office every 30 days after submitting, unless you have something else going on and it may need to be sooner. So silence does not always mean that everything is okay and is fine, even though that's what we are a lot of times taught to think. That is not always what that means, especially when you are dealing with these types of financial aid things that are going on now. What I want you to do is make sure that you get every conversation with financial aid in writing. That means when you need to speak with them, you need to get some email confirmations. Make sure you are holding on to that thread. Make sure you have your award letters. Make sure you have payment plan agreements. Make sure those things are put away somewhere. Get some kind of folder system and make sure that you are putting those away. And if you don't already, make sure that you have an email specific to college, nothing else, specifically for college. So when those college emails go in there, it's easy to filter. You don't have some other stores running around in your email. It is just the email for that particular thing. College, financial aid, college, anything to do with college, that is what that email is for. Next, I want you to confirm outside scholarships are posted to your student account before the payment deadline, because awarded does not mean that you have received those funds, which means that the school is looking at you like you do not have the money. So make sure that those things are posted to your account. I want you to ask the bursar's office directly about payment plan eligibility thresholds before the deadline even arrives. So when you start corresponding with the financial aid office, matter of factly, when you first submit everything, you know that's where you're getting ready to attend school. Go ahead and find out that threshold way ahead of time and find out that deadline so that you know, and make sure that you put that deadline somewhere in your phone. Make sure you have an alarm go off for it a few weeks in advance so that you know what you need to do. Next, I want you to set up your payment plan the moment enrollment opens. Waiting creates the exact trap that the Howard students fell into. Don't wait. Do not procrastinate. I know it is so easy to do. I do it all the time. But when it comes to this, procrastination is not what you want to be doing. You want to be on top of these things. It's like going to one of your favorite concerts or being somewhere that you really want to be and you want to be first in line. Do that as if you want to be first in line for this. If you are having some kind of system problem, some kind of automated system blocks your payment plan enrollment, request a manual review immediately. Don't wait. And then if a scholarship is pending, make sure you request a financial hold extension in writing with the documentation attached so that if something happens, you have something available to you to say, no, I have this in writing. I asked for this. I was given this, so that everybody is on the same page and you can't dispute what's in black and white. And lastly, never, ever, ever assume that the university will call you. The family that advocates loudly and documents everything keeps the student enrolled. So you need to be that person when they see your name or your phone number run across the phone or run across their desk. They're like, oh, this is such and such giving us a call back. You want them to know you by name. That's how much you need to make sure that you are on it and that you are, making sure that they are taking a look at your financial aid things so that you can make sure that you start on time and are able to, run through smoothly everything that you need to do. So every HBCU publishes their billing and payment policies on their official website, and most families never read them, but I'm going to be honest, I went and looked for the deadlines for Howard, and unless this is new, it was kind of buried. Like, unless you really knew what you were looking for and you knew the specific wording that you should be looking for, you would never click on that link. So I'm going to show you in this video how to actually find the billing date that they were specifically talking about. Now, if they just posted this on their website and you know that they just posted it, let me know down in the comments, but I'll show you what I was able to find. So once you do that, you'll want to go to the school's bursar or student accounts page and find the financial responsibility agreement your student or you have signed at enrollment. You'll want to look specifically for payment plan eligibility requirements, late payment consequences, and unenrollment policy language. It probably won't be easy. It'll probably be confusing, but it's there. If you are one of the 502 students or parents of one of the 502 students, I want to hear what your story is. It's very unfortunate that you and your family have gone through this and have had to have this experience, because this is supposed to be such a happy, joyful time. And, going to college is like, that's the next step. It is so, enjoyable and exciting if you don't have these types of things happening. And we all want a smooth process when attending. Go ahead and drop your experience in the comments. What happened? What is something that you wish you knew? What information would have changed your outcome, do you feel? Like, what are some things that you feel like you really wanted to know that you weren't given the opportunity to find out until after unenrollment already happened? If you have questions about financial aid at your HBCU, there are between 105 and 107, depending on how you look at it. I want you to drop your HBC down below, and I will answer all the questions. If I don't know the answer, I will definitely research it. I don't know everything, but I know how to research things and find things that I'm looking for. This channel exists for you. I want you to know that this channel is a safe space. I want you to tell me what you need, and whatever it is that you feel like you need, I will build it for this HBCU Black student community, because I feel like we need it, but I need to know what it is that you need. So your story could be the content that saves another Black family from going through the same thing that you are either going through now or you have already gone through. I just want to mention that the Black Student Blueprint exists so that no Black family walks into a situation like this uninformed. I want you to be prepared. And the Deep South HBCU Financial Aid Guide is coming. And it is going to cover lots of things. Don't have the situation that Howard has just had. I'm going to teach you how to use the strategies and, time and all of those good things to make sure that the process is as smooth as possible so that you can also attend school debt free or almost debt free. So, what you can go ahead and do is you can go ahead and click the waitlist down below. There's a link in the description so that you can be one of the first families to access the Deep South HBCU guide. There's going to be so much in there, and this is just the first of many. I'm going to do Mid-Atlantic. I'm going to do, all the other HBCUs, but we're just starting here with the Deep South ones. So make sure that you go ahead, subscribe, share this video with every Black family you know who has a student heading to college, specifically in HBCU. I feel like this information was too important for me to keep to myself. It's too important for you to keep to yourself. And somebody in your circle needs to know this information today. So, as always, thank you for watching. This is the Black Student Blueprint. My name is Takara, and I may be back with another video outside of my HBCU attire, depending on what's going on. So I hope to see you then. See you next time.